The exams today from 4:30 p.m. onwards, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will try to wind it up as quickly as possible so that uh, you can have some time to prepare for your exams also. So we are at the last part of our syllabus of environmental studies class test. So here are a few more things that I would like to discuss with you. And this is also important for your class test point of view because, as I said, this is the last part of your class test syllabus. And the topic is environmental impact assessment. Okay, so what does that mean? Whenever we take up any project, a road construction project maybe, or maybe uh, developing an industry on a certain location, or uh, setting up a chemical factory, whatever the case may be, whatever developmental project we take up, we need to have this idea about what is the impact this project is going to have on the environment, good or bad. And we have to get a uh, clearance from the environmental agency, that is the Ministry of Environment here in India, so that this project can be executed. So this kind of framework is already present. So we are here to understand what this impact assessment basically means. What is the main objective of this impact assessment? What are the things that we look for in this impact assessment project? So environmental impact is any change to the environment, where adverse or beneficial, wholly or partially, whether adverse or beneficial, wholly or partially resulting from a development activity. Okay, and assessment is the assessment or measurement of the environmental impact. So how do we do that? We will look for what is going to be the modification, extension, or if it is a new project, whatever the case may be, we will identify that with a view to achieve sustainable development. So keeping in mind is also that these projects can lead to sustainable development, we will assess the project and we will find out whether it is going to adversely affect or is it going to be beneficial. Okay, so environmental impact assessment is an assessment of the possible positive or negative impact that a proposed project may have on the environment, considering natural, social and economic aspects. If you remember, we talked about natural or more precisely ecological, social and economic aspects we talked about while we talked about sustainable development. So these are the three aspects we need to balance while we take up any project or when we try to grow as a society, as a nation. There should be balance between ecological development, social development and economic development. We cannot ignore any of the three. So this environmental impact assessment checks whether there is a balance between the three. So it aims to some more ways to explain the same thing only, what is environmental impact assessment. It aims to predict environmental impacts at an early stage in project planning and design. See, it is not done after the project is executed. It is done before the project itself will get clearance to be executed. Okay, and it finds ways and means to reduce the adverse impact. You are not just going to say that this project is harmful for the environment. You also have to suggest how this harm can be mitigated. You are not the person who is only blocking a project. You should be in a position to suggest solutions, alternate solutions to whatever the project plan has been devised. Okay, it shapes projects to suit the local environment and present the prediction and option to decision makers. You see, the planners are not supposed to think beyond their plan or their objective, but they also have to listen to the environmentalists. Okay, going out on the road and protesting uh, is something which goes on here in India also. But the problem is there should be a proper framework or the system so that such deterrents of protesting should be the last resort. There should be always be a way the environmental impact assessment is done all the time. before the projects are given clearance. If that happens, then there will be lesser scope for protest. The environment will also be protected. In India, it has become mandatory for all chemical industries and other infrastructure projects to seek environmental clearance from the state authority or central government authority before putting up any project. But the problem is, till now, this whole process is just done for the sake of doing. Still, in many cases, these kind of projects are not that uh, you know impactful. So this is also one thing that you can look it up. Why, what kind of environmental impact assessment are going on all over the country? Uh, you can study the success of it and the failure. In which projects they were successfully able to bring out sustainable solution, and in which cases their suggestions were ignored and the project was executed anyway. You can look it up. Then you will have an idea this whole impact assessment done by the authorities, whether it is really effective or not. That is something you can think of, you can study, you can discuss in class. Okay, we all know that these projects are there, these rules are there. How much these rules are being actually followed? Why is it not followed? What could have been done so that the government can force the companies to follow? This is something which requires discussion. Okay, I leave it to you, and I expect that you will come up with some solutions. And whatever the idea that you might have, you can share it with all of us. What is the significance? It can lead to inhibition. Inhibitions means it can create a space for various plants and animals to survive. Flora and fauna will flourish. Natural resources will be maintained. You cannot say that it won't be used. It will be used, but it will be managed and maintained properly. Overall safety of the project and public properties. Overall safety is also ensured. It's not that in the process of saving the environment, you are going to condemn the whole project. That is also not the goal. The goal is to keep a balance. So EIA is a project management tool. So what are the things that you are going to do when you are performing an environmental impact assessment? You will identify, anticipate, and prevent environmental impacts. Examine the significance of environmental implications. Assess whether impacts can be mitigated or not. This, and you will find ways to increase the environmental benefits. These are self-explanatory points. Recommend preventive and corrective mitigating measures. If you see problem in a project, then you will also suggest solutions. Inform decision makers and concerned parties about the environmental implications. Whoever is leading the project planning authority, project planning team, you have to inform about the issues, and you also have to inform the concerned parties, concerned party or stakeholders. They are also the people who are going to get affected. Okay, maybe the nearby villages and towns, they might get affected. They are also supposed to know what's going on around them. They have the right to know. So one of the objective of environmental impact assessment is letting them know. Advise whether development should go ahead or not. Okay, integrate environmental consideration into planning, design, and construction of projects at all scales. Okay, environmental consideration has to be given due importance at every stage of the whole execution of the project. That has to be ensured by this kind of impact assessment. So the solution that will be given will be in such a way that at each stage of the project, what are the things that they need to take care of should be mentioned properly. It's not a one-time affair. It is a continuous process where the project executioners should have this in mind, that they should always be protective of the environment. Now, saying these statements are easy, but in reality, when you are suggesting these problems, addressing these problems and giving solutions, you have to be practical, or else this statement will simply remain a statement and they will never be actually implemented in the field. If we look into the EIA report, Environmental Impact Assessment Report, then these are the things you will find. There is a project settings section, a description of project proposed, compromising information about the site and design, size and scale of the project. These all the things will be mentioned. Compromising information about the site and design means what are the issues that can lead to environmental deterioration. That has to be highlighted. Description of the proposed project should also be there. Description of existing environment. What is the ecological state of the location where this project is executed? That has to be mentioned. Detailed analysis and evaluation of each impact. So whatever impact you think that might come up on the environment, it has to be addressed properly, and proper valuation should be done that how much loss is going to happen. So what are the alternatives? Your alternatives should be reasonable so that the project can also be executed if it is actually possible. Suggestions from monitoring and control. This is also one important thing. Execution is just not the single thing. Regular monitoring, regular management of the project is also necessary. Okay. Let's say if you are building an industry, so while building, every provision should be given. This is one thing. But after the building is finished, when the industry is operational, some kind of monitoring and control is required so that the authorities can observe whether they are now following the guidelines. And then finally, you have to give a summary of all the things. This is a complete EIA report which will have all these aspects. Okay. Now, what is the process of EIA? Now, these are the things that will be there in the report. So how are you actually going to do this? So the first step starts with screening. Then you have scoping, impact analysis, mitigation, reporting, review of EIA, decision making and monitoring. So we will discuss these points in the subsequent slides. So what is screening? It determines whether the proposed project requires an EIA or not. This is also one important thing. You just should not go for any project. You just should not pick up any project and go for EIA. It's an expensive process and decision is very important. Which projects required EIA? Okay. Scoping means it is the process of determining which are the most critical issues to study. There could be many reasons where you can see there is an impact on the environment, but which are the critical, which needs to be studied, that has to be scoped out. Okay, you should have to filter out the important uh, aspects or important parts where you should focus on in your environmental impact assessment. And then you will go for the impact analysis of those specific issues. It is the stage of EIA which identifies and predicts the likely environmental and social impact of the proposed project. In the scoping stage, you have out of let's say 10 issues, you have filtered out 6 issues. So those 6 issues you are going to study and do an impact analysis. Then you are going to give them preventive solution. What can be done to avoid this potentially adverse effect on the environment? This has to be suggested in the mitigation step. And then you will uh, convert this whole thing into a report. Okay. Then the reporting will be done. So once you are done with reporting, a review of this EIA will happen. So review is basically it's examining the adequacy and effectiveness of the report and provides information necessary for decision making. So the team leaders will sit and they are going to discuss whether this problem identification is proper or not, whether the solutions given are logical or not, practical or not. This will be reviewed. Then it will be shared with the concerned authorities, and there a decision making will be uh, happening. So the project authorities are going to decide how they are going to execute these preventive measures. And this is not the end of it. Then the whole thing has to be monitored. Whatever solutions that were suggested by the EIA authorities, whether it is being followed or not, it has to be monitored. If they are not following it, compliance report has to be show cause report has to be asked from them, and if they are following it, then compliance report has to be submitted. So compliance report basically means it's a proof that we are following your instructions, and show cause report means it's a statement which tells you why you are not following the instructions. Okay. Enforcement and environmental auditing, this also should go on hand in hand from time to time, just to see whether the project or whatever the industry or whatever infrastructure that has been built is causing any new issues to the environment or not. So environmental auditing and enforcement auditing should go on from time to time. So this whole thing, 8 point, is written in the form of a flowchart over here. Okay, screening, EIA if required, you go for scoping, impact analysis. If it is not needed, then your story ends here. So impact analysis, then you will suggest mitigation, you will prepare the report, the review will be conducted. Once the review is over, decision making will happen. If it is approved, then only we will go for the project. And if it is not approved, then you have to redesign and resubmit the whole project. And once you submit, the whole process will again begin. And if it is approved, then implementation and follow-up has to be taken place. Okay. So if there is public involved, then that also has to be included in the review. And because of public involvement, if it is needed, then scoping is also getting influenced by public involvement. Maybe government has not scoped out this specific project, but because of a tremendous amount of public protest, maybe a certain scope has, a certain project also has to be brought under the purview of environmental impact assessment. So this is one important thing. Okay, so the whole flowchart is nothing but an explanation of these three slides, process of EIA. Okay. What kind of survey and what kind of analysis is done in environmental impact assessment? Let's look into that. Air quality is checked, water quality is checked. Okay. Surrounding areas, air, surrounding areas, water, this is checked. Site and its surroundings, these are also checked. Occupational safety and health is also checked. Site and its surroundings means how the surrounding land is getting affected because of a certain project or might get affected because of a certain project. Okay. Occupational and safety, occupational safety and health. How are the employees working over here are going to feel? Are they going to get harmed in any way because of this project? Details of the treatment and disposal of effluents and the methods of alternative uses. So whatever waste will come out of the industry, how are they processed before they are dropped finally into the water bodies? That has to be checked. If it is a smoke or any gaseous effluent, then how is that cleaned before it is let into the air, free air? Okay, that has to be checked. What kind of provisions are provided? If it is not present, then solutions has to be suggested, and then it also has to be followed whether they are really implementing the solutions. Transportation of raw material and details of material handling. What kind of raw material is going to get used? Whether that is going to create a problem. Maybe excessive usage of raw material could be risky for the environment. That also has to be looked into. And details of material handling. So how material is handled, that is also important. Whether it is being misused, whether it is being wasted or not, that also has to be checked. Control equipment and measures proposed to be adopted. So, and all these things when they are done, when looking into the scenario, you are going to suggest the measure or the alternative solutions that could be adopted to make the situation better. Okay. So what are the benefits of EIA? You can understand these points by yourself only. Obviously, there is going to be environmental benefits. How can there be economic benefits? You have to look it in a different way. If you just try to focus on the company, then you might not find economic benefits. But if you look into the surrounding area and the people living around the project, because of the project, if there is death in crops, or maybe cattle are dying, maybe people are suffering from various kinds of diseases, then there is going to be expenses because of these kind of issues. So an overall economic loss is going to happen, right? Reduced cost and time of project implementation and design. Maybe because of this EIA, it's possible that the whole project could become more efficient, and it could be more beneficial to the company. Avoid add treatment. So after you ruin the water, then you are going to treat. There is an alternate option. You don't ruin it. Take the preventive measures before, so that there is not much loss to life, and there is not much damage to the environment, so that you don't have to spend any money for treatment. Cleanup cost can also be reduced if you can plan accordingly. impacts of law and regulations. So the law and regulations that are present in the constitution and all, now that is followed or not, that has to be checked, right? So that checking is the actual process of environmental impact assessment. So you are also imposing the rules and regulations that are already prevalent, and the project owners are maybe disregarding it. So you can detect that, and you can make them follow the rules. Okay, that is also one benefit of environmental impact assessment. Just having the rules is not enough. You have to impose it, right? So this environmental impact assessment becomes a way of imposing these rules. So it is a very beneficial step to check whether the project is environmental friendly or not. And such development is the result of interaction between so many things, natural resources and technology supported by, designed for people, supported by, and designed for people. So all human activity should be economic, social, and environmental. So that you already know. This part I have discussed before. Okay. So there are various processes how EIA is conducted. One is ad hoc approach, then impact checklist method, matrix method, network approach. This is a bit more depth. If you dig deeper into environmental impact assessment, then you will find these methods, and each method are itself, very detailed, and a thorough understanding is required if you really want to use them. But that is not in the purview of your course, so that is skipped. Just you can know the names of the methods of conducting environmental impact assessment. Okay, so this is it, students. I'd like to give you this task, which again is not your assignment. Your assignment will be something that I will be giving you on Google Classroom. So what I'm trying to say is, one task is, what is the status of environmental impact assessment done here in India? How successful or how unsuccessful this process is in India? That you can look it up. Okay, this is one task that you can do. So this will be all for from environmental impact assessment part. Make sure you are preparing this PPT also. And now I have a few questions to you people. Or rather, if you have any questions, you will have to ask me. I have got a few emails from some of you students that you have got some issues. So it's very difficult to reply to all the emails because I keep getting emails like every minute there is an email come. So if you have anything to ask me, now is your time. I will answer to your questions. Those who have emailed specifically, I would urge you to ask your questions right now.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, my name is Parth Varghese, roll number 35.
Okay.
सर मैंने जब वो फ्लो चार्ट वाला पीपीटी वो आपने बनाने को कहा था, तो जब मैंने डेस्कटॉप पे अपनी स्लाइड सेव करी थी उसमें तो वो फ्लो चार्ट विजिबल था, पर जब गूगल क्लासरूम में सबमिट करा तो वो ब्लैंक इमेज हो गई थी वहां पर।
तो उसको पीडीएफ पे कन्वर्ट करो, पीडीएफ पे कन्वर्ट करके अपलोड करो।
सर मैंने आपको मेल में दोनों स्क्रीनशॉट भी शेयर करे थे, एक में विजिबल है, तो मैंने रिमूव करके सबमिशन वापस कन्वर्ट करके भी अप्लाई करा था उसमें एलएमएस वो गूगल क्लासरूम में, पर वो नहीं हो पा रहा था।
तुमने पीडीएफ बनाया था?
यस सर।
पीडीएफ बना के तुमने अपलोड किया?
हाँ सर, वो सिर्फ स्लाइड विजिबल नहीं हो रही थी, बाकी सब तो विजिबल हो रहा था, जो इमेजेस लगाई, जो पॉइंट्स लिखे, सिर्फ जो फ्लो चार्ट वाली स्लाइड थी उसमें ब्लैंक हो गया था।
हेलो,
वेट जस्ट अ मिनट, एक एक करके देख लो। रोल नंबर 35, राइट?
यस सर।
ये पीपीटी फॉर्म में है, तुम इसको पीडीएफ पे डालना, तब देख लूंगा।
सर अभी रिमूव करके सबमिशन वापस कर सकता हूँ सबमिट?
हाँ हाँ, कर सकते हो।
ओके सर,
सर
Next.
सेम इशू सर सेम इशू मेरे साथ भी हुआ था, तो मैंने पीडीएफ में कन्वर्ट करके अपलोड करा था, लेकिन वो मैंने एक दिन बाद देखा था कि पीडीएफ मतलब वो पीपीटी में शो नहीं हो रहा है, तो मैंने मतलब एक दिन बाद पीडीएफ में अनसबमिट करके वापस सबमिट करा था। तो सर
ओके,
वो लेट असाइनमेंट तो नहीं होगा ना फिर?
नहीं नहीं कोई बात नहीं। ओके,
ओके सर।
और किसी का कुछ?
मैं ऐड नहीं हुआ गूगल क्लासरूम पे।
रोल नंबर क्या है तुम्हारा?
102।
हुआ हो तुम? हो गया? अच्छा, गूगल क्लासरूम पे, ओके, जस्ट
हाँ।
देखता हूँ। अभी कुछ ईमेल्स गए होंगे कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को गूगल क्लासरूम पे ऐड होने के लिए। फिर भी अगर किसी को नहीं मिला है तो बताना मुझे। और कुछ? एनीवन एल्स? हाँ, 38 तुम्हारा क्या है बताओ, अनम्यूट करो।
मेल नहीं मिला सर।
तुम चैट बॉक्स पे पूरा मैसेज करो, तुम्हारा आवाज ठीक से नहीं आ रहा। रोल नंबर 38। अच्छा, देखते हैं। तुम तो ऑलरेडी एडेड हो क्लास पे, तुम्हें मेल कैसे नहीं आ रहा है? यू आर ऑलरेडी देयर इन क्लास। गूगल क्लासरूम पे हो कि नहीं देख लेते हैं। गूगल क्लासरूम पे भी तुम ऑलरेडी एडेड हो, कैसे तुम्हें मेल नहीं आ सकता?
अभी नहीं
आज
आया सर।
अभी जो क्लास हुआ है, ये वाली क्लास, अभी का जो क्लास,
नहीं सर, अभी का तो आया, देख ले रहा
अभी ज्वाइन हुए हो मैं मतलब, तो ऑब्वियसली मेल आया होगा। और वैसे भी सब लोग अपना अगर वेबएक्स का ऐप खोलते हो अपने फोन पे या लैपटॉप पे, तो तुम लोगों को शेड्यूल्ड क्लास उस दिन का सब दिख जाना चाहिए। यू शुड नॉट वेट फॉर ईमेल्स। ईमेल्स नहीं भी आए तो भी तुम लोगों को क्लास दिख जाना चाहिए, इफ यू आर रियली एडेड ऑन द क्लास।
पहले की रिकॉर्डिंग्स मिल सकती है मुझे?
रोल नंबर 51 डाल सकते हो तुम, इट्स पॉसिबल। रोल नंबर 18, तुमने बताया कि तुम गूगल क्लास पे नहीं हो। दैट इज ट्रू, तुम्हें इनविटेशन भेजा गया है, तुमने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया, इसलिए ऐसा हो रहा है। तो अपने मेल्स चेक करो, एक इनविटेशन तुम्हें दिखेगा, उसके जरिए तुम ऐड हो जाओ। रोल नंबर 17 क्लास में है क्या? नहीं। रोल नंबर 41 अनम्यूट करो। रोल नंबर 41। Is there any further questions from you, students? If you don't have any further queries, then I wish you all the best for your class tests that are about to start in a while. And prepare well for environmental studies. You don't have to give too much of time, just be thorough with the PPTs, and I hope you will all be able to answer your questions. So that will be all. You can leave the meeting, and you can get prepared for your exam.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, today's my first class. Can I get previous recordings of your class?
Yeah, I just said this a while ago. I will be uploading it on Google Drive. You can check it there.
Okay. Okay.